This audio recording is intended to facilitate the gradual release of confidential documents pertaining to a top-secret exchange program where 12 U.S. military personnel went to the planet Serpo, which was located in the Zeta Reticuli star system between the years 1965 and 1978. Note by Bill Ryan. The following is a composite of information that is important enough to justify a release in itself. Linda Moulton Howe has clarified what she was told about the exchange program. I learned back in the 1983-1984 time period about an alleged exchange program of humans leaving Holloman Air Force Base on April 25, 1964 for Zeta Reticuli with non-humans while I was working on a home box office television special entitled UFOs, the ET Factor. I was told 3 human men went. 1 died on the alien planet, 1 went insane, don't know fate, and 1 returned to Earth and was given a safe house in which to live the rest of his life on an island provided by the U.S. government. She then wrote again to clarify who her source was. My main source was Robert Emeninger, the writer of UFOs Past, Present, and Future, which was broadcast in the U.S. on television in the late 1970s. I referred this to John Lear, who had told Carrie Cassidy and myself exactly the same information. 3 went, 1 died, 1 went crazy, and 1 returned safely. When we met with him in person a couple of weeks ago, Lear clarified, it was from a completely different source who does not know Linda or Robert. He lived in Houston and had access to NASA, but did not work for NASA. I then referred this to a number of researchers. One discovered the following at www.virtuallystrange.net/UFO/1998/NOV/M18-010.html. From Errol Bruce Knapp, moderator, UFO Updates, Toronto. Date Wednesday, 18th November 1998. Extract. Speaking of which, Holloman came up again in my life this past weekend. During a phone conversation with James L. McCampbell, author of Ufology, New Insights from Science and Common Sense, this past Saturday, November 14th, Jim dropped a new one on me. Reply, the Holloman landing. He almost casually mentioned that 3 military bird colonels, MDs, left with the visitors. On their return, 1 colonel went insane, 1 died, and Jim didn't know what happened to the other. This is all potentially very important. Was the Serpo story essentially correct, but that only 3 humans went? There are now suddenly 2 or maybe even 3 separate sources stating exactly the same story. That 3 went on the Serpo mission, not 12, and that the outcome had not been favorable. Entirely separately, 24 hours ago, I received 2 messages from a claimed intelligence source who told me that several important details were just plain wrong and suggested that either I'd got lucky and guessed uncannily accurately in the event that I made it up, or that I'd been deliberately disinformed. He said no more, telling me that I was heavily monitored. This person appears only to have just now come across the Serpo story on the web. It's significant that he was astonished that so much of this invented story was accurate compared to what he knew. I forwarded all the above information to a number of people on my private circulation list and invited them to pass the information freely on to whomever they wished and wondered what would happen next today. Several hours later, I received this message from an anonymous source in U.S. intelligence. Every single bit of information from the posting regarding the crew logs is absolutely correct. I verified that the logs are real and were transcribed from official tape recordings made by the crew. There are 5,419 cassette tapes that contain voice recordings. I've heard one of them, but saw all of them in a secure environment. I know these logs are genuine. I was given the opportunity to see them and listen to one in its entirety, which was made by the team commander himself. How could someone fake 5,419 times 90-minute tapes? Do the math. It would have taken someone 338 days to fabricate the tapes. That type of government cassette tape is no longer so today, but they were military issue then. There were no cassette tapes available to the public until 1968. The crew took 60 boxes, each containing 100 by 90-minute cassette tapes, which is 6,000 tapes. These tapes were recorded during the mission to Serpo over the course of their years away from Earth. Each crew member had a recording device and recorded their observations. Once they returned, the tapes were transcribed over a period of 7 years. Look at the critics trying to destroy this fantastic true story. If I were the keeper of this information, I wouldn't release it to anyone except the general public through the news media. There are some true disbelievers in the UFO community who wouldn't believe the story if God himself told it. The game may have changed now. Let's forget the details of the story, how many went, what the dates were, even the alien culture. Only one question is really important. Was there an exchange program? I suggest that the answer is that there was. The circumstantial evidence mounts. To resolve the apparent discrepancies in detail, there may even have been 2 different exchange programs, or more. Why not? If the Serpo story is indeed disinformation, and remember, disinformation could be 80% false and 20% true, or 80% true and 20% false. It surrounds and protects the details of an incredible true event. And if it is disinformation, another important question is what other untold truth the disinformation may be designed to conceal. Bill Ryan, 30th August, 2006. Note, this message was originally streamed by Victor Martinez on the 18th of December, 2006. Project Serpo Special Announcement. What on earth has happened? If you are one of the hundreds of thousands around the world who have followed the Project Serpo saga, then read every word slowly. Don't speed read through it. You'll miss important information. Breaking news flash. Bill Ryan's Serpo.org website successfully hacked on Sunday, 12/17/06 by a common petty low-life computer criminal. Part 1 of 6. UFO Thread List. I have an absolutely splitting headache as I write this to all of you right now before I head off to work. Work has never looked so good to me. I write the following in the interest of transparency and so no one can accuse me, Bill Ryan, of covering up things because that's not how we operate nor what we're about, never have been. I find myself in a very awkward, uncomfortable situation today. I thought I was going to be presenting and streaming inline photographs taken on an alien home world, planet Serpo, in the Zeta Reticuli 1 and 2 star system. Well, perhaps to some future date that may be, but definitely not today. Bill will be issuing a public statement as well shortly after you read mine. Part 2 of 6, Timeline Sequence of Events. Saturday, December 9th, 2006, about 9 a.m., I'm talking to OM Global Moderator Chris Iverson about a host of things and he asked me if I've heard anything from Anonymous. I answer no, and he wishes me a happy birthday and an enjoyable lunch with former student Jackie N., class of 1998, at the Cheesecake Factory in Huntington Beach. Late Saturday afternoon, I go to my P.O. box and there's a CD waiting for me in a nondescript package. I knew instantly what it was and I went directly to Kinko's to view it. Since I don't even know how to insert a disk into a computer, I immediately hire one of the employees to open it for me and execute any and all function I need. I offer him $20 per hour above his hourly wage. Each image file was 13.946 megabytes in size and could never have been received by me at WebTV, which has an incoming capacity of 10 megabytes total. I had him make 2 sets of color prints for me and then quickly left. I informed him and other curious employees that what they had viewed were pictures from a future sci-fi movie produced by SKG Spielberg Katzenberg Geffen in Hollywood. Monday, December 11, 2006, I overnight the disk to a retired Signals Intelligence Data Photo Digital Analyst for the National Security Agency, retired in Lithicum, MD, along with a slew of music CDs which I had specifically purchased for this project, which would number about 100 photos. My bill for all of these CDs came to $1,763.42 according to my Citibank Gold statement. At least I love the music I purchased. This Serpo photo release had been in the works since September 2006. Thursday, December 14th, I met with my co-moderator, colleague, and great friend Bill Ryan and his girlfriend for lunch at Maggiano's Little Italy in Woodland Hills, California from 11:12 a.m. to 1:24 p.m. I informed Bill what I have received, what I've done with the disc, and what I plan on doing the following week, this week, with the 5 images sent to me at the direction of Anonymous. I only have the sunset photo on hand to share with Bill and Carrie at the time. Bill provides me something called the FTP for the Serpo.org website, so I inform him that I'll have my NSA contact friend download the images directly into his website. Thursday, December 14th, my NSA contact friend phones me around 6 p.m. to regrettably inform me of a huge slew of problems with what Anonymous Gatekeeper had sent me. I'm floored, extremely disappointed and dejected by what he has to say. 4 hours later, we're finally off the phone. Note, my NSA friend's biting, stinging, but professionally written critical analysis of the photos is part 5 of 6. Thursday, December 14th, at around 11 p.m., I fire off an urgent email to Anonymous detailing just some of the problems issue my NSA contact has laid out to me. I beg him for an explanation. Unlike the 2 or 3 emails per day I was receiving from him, I have not heard a word from him since, including up until today, Monday, December 18th, 2006 at 6 a.m. Friday, December 15th, I mail a duped copy of the CD with the original uncompressed images to Bill at 10:24 a.m. I have no copies for myself. Friday, December 15th, at around 8 p.m., all of the images compressed have been successfully downloaded into Bill's Serpo.org website by my NSA friend. Sunday, December 17th, right after Sunday brunch, Bill shocks me with a cell-to-cell call placed at 1:30 p.m., informing me that his Serpo.org website has been successfully hacked into and that 2 of the photos have been posted on a debunking website. These outed as fakes, something Bill, my NSA contact, and myself already had concluded, and we were not going to present them as being authentic, genuine ever. In a weird sort of way, this criminal act actually assisted us. It's important to note that the images obtained by the computer criminal, probably from the UK, were not the original ones that were received by me from the gatekeeper. They were compressed JPEG files, and we knew instantly that the source for these photos was Bill's website because of another built-in security feature. The images on the original CD mailed to me have completely different file names. The ones downloaded from Bill's website were renumbered by my NSA contact to coincide with the stream sequence. That's how we know they were illegally obtained via Bill's website. Note, disgusted? You should be outraged. Serious professional researchers do not research and obtain their information by hacking into others' computer system, breaking into their homes, tapping their phones, lines, having tails placed on them, as 2 well-known researchers recently had done to them in New Mexico. Food for thought. Try and imagine pro-researchers like Stan Friedman, Nick Redfern, Timothy Good, Dr. Bruce Maccabee, Dr. James Dierdorff, Bob and Ryan Wood, Paolo Harris, Jim Mars, Bob Collins, etc., engaging in this type of criminal activity. I'll not provide the nom de guerre this low-life individual uses. No reason to give this information-mining maggot the attention he so desperately craves. We finalize plans on the time of the stream, and Bill advises me that after having viewed the images for himself, remember he hadn't viewed them yet at lunch on Thursday, he chooses to reverse his position and withhold from the public view, mask from public view, all 5 of the images pending a further clarification from Anonymous. Note, only the sun's set is being made available at this time as 94 of 100. I'll tell him that I fully support his decision, whatever he chooses to do at this point. I trust, support, and reaffirm his sound judgment. Note, this explains why there is such a gap between 100 of 100, which is then followed by 95 of 100, public domain, and finally 94 of 100. Closing statement. Bill and myself do not know what's really occurred here. Theories abound, our collective imaginations run wild, and our cerebral cortexes are a-twitter. Since this is not the original Anonymous, this might very well be an orchestrated disinformation campaign to destroy the original Anonymous posting that I released from 11/2/05 to 12/21/05. In other words, a concerted effort is being made to trash the Project Serpo story and keep the public at large from even considering that such an exchange program ever took place. Crack online investigative journalist Gary S. Beckham of StartStreamResearch.com has suggested that, as in the past MJ12 papers, pieces of actual above top secret information, Project Serpo posting number 19 reaffirmed at www.lanl.gov/history/index.shtml has been passed, is being passed through a series of bogus UFO disclosures. C. This could be a test to see how gullible the public could be once to believe that images which are not genuine are presented as such. D. What you've seen today from 94 of 100 and the other 4 images masked from public view may be authentic representations of what the 11 team members viewed on Serpo. Unlikely, but they're not genuine. In fact, they all have the earthly origins, as the crack investigative team at the Open Minds Forum have informed Bill and me. Confused? While both genuine and authentic means a lack of falsehood or misrepresentation, genuine applies to a real person or thing and the original. Authentic suggests a fidelity to the truth or a lack of falsehood demonstrated by a certification process. Example: my wife and I recently purchased a genuine Picasso painting, equals an original copy, not a duplicate. Example: my wife and I recently purchased an authentic copy of the famous Mona Lisa painting, an exact duplicate of the original, but not the original itself. Source: Right, Wrong, and Risky. A dictionary of today's American English usage. If Anonymous could not obtain the original source material from Bolling Air Force Base, where all of the Project Serpo files, materials, photo album books are stored, to make authentic copies from the genuine originals, then he should have stated as such so it could be clear to me and everyone else. Instead, Bill and myself are put in the awkward situation of withholding information from you, the UFO community at large, something we don't like doing at all. E. Team of 5, member Dr. Christensen M. Kit Green, wrote me and Dr. Hal Prudoff a private email on Thursday, November 10, 2005 at 5:03 p.m., which stated in part, from Dr. Christopher Green, Victor, I respect and fully support what you are doing. I do not know what in the world is going on, referencing the Serpo release, but Hal and myself both believe it is very important and very complex. It is my absolute guarantee to you, 4 paragraphs deleted, private communication. Dr. Green's prescient and insightful commentary issued over a year ago are still absolutely 100% as true today as they were when he wrote them more than a year ago. What he doesn't know, or perhaps he does, is how unbelievably complex this Project Serpo story really is. Bill and myself are just simply amazed. The more things change, the more they remain the same. I make particular note of this because certain nitwits, hanger-ons, ne'er-do-well online freaks from various forums have simply, publicly, and falsely stated, oh, Rick Doty wrote all of this from a dusty old science fiction novel he started 20 plus years ago, and Victor's editing it for him. Or, Victor had some of his former physics students write all of this after school for extra credit at a Taco Bell. Skeptic Magazine has put this out privately as conveyed to me at a Caltech lecture with Harvard University professor Dr. Susan A. Clacy as the keynote speaker, November 2005. Idiots. What they don't know is what they don't know, meaning that if the general public knows 250 facts about the Serpo puzzle, and then these forum freaks know 500 parts of the puzzle, what they don't know is that there are 500 other parts, and they're unaware that both Bill and myself do know. This is what I mean by they don't know what they don't know. Reality check. Does this necessarily mean that Project Serpo never occurred? No, not at all. In fact, from my point of view, it almost reaffirms that it did take place, as so many individuals are crawling out from under every rock to try and discredit it. But why? Why aren't they focusing in on the Hollow Earth theory, Rendlesham Forest, the Kecksburg incident, Betty and Barney Hill, etc.? Why Serpo Project? By being so obsessed with this project and thinking about it 24/7, they're in effect suggesting that all of you are too blanking stupid to make your own decisions and they need to lead you by the hand to the truth. The heck with them. You'll evaluate the evidence as it's presented to you and then make up your own mind. Don't let the Serpo-obsessed, bathrobe-clad, forum freak do-nothings decide for you. 3 of 6. Open letter to my original anonymous. On November 1st, 2005, I received a startling email from you entitled Bombshell, if you'll recall. That one email followed by hundreds after that, many of which still remain unpublished, totaling 3,200 plus words and have been safely secured from hackers in my safety deposit box, which I compressed into a very lengthy streams, started a worldwide phenomenon for the global UFO community of something they'd not considered before. That the U.S. government had sent 12 military astronauts from our world to another for a period of 13 years. Wow. With the generous, kind, and technical assistance from my co-moderator Bill Ryan, and with my highly influential UFO thread list, we successfully got your message and story to the global UFO community and just regular folks in general. Even to this day, magazines are still carrying the Project Serpo story, The Debunkers Be Damned. Please see the January-February issue of Atlantis Rising magazine, pages 29, 31, 63, and 64. In your email dated 12/14/06 entitled Problems, you articulated to me that too many individuals are trying to uncover my identity, and then you asked me to delete all of your emails, which I promptly did except for the first one of 11/1/05. I can understand your bowing out and letting another anonymous take over. Why put up with all of those noisy people amazingly more interested in who you are than the data information itself? I'd likely do the same thing. I greatly admire and respect the years of dedicated service as a public servant you have given to our country and the great contributions you made while being the editor for The Red Book, presented to the sitting President of the United States every 5 years on the summary of alien contacts the U.S. and other countries have had with visiting alien life forms to our planet. Likewise, I was thrilled and very pleased to learn from a cabinet-level officer whom you're colleagues with and I'm a friend of how happy you were when you received my 25-pound care package I sent you for Christmas 2005. I hope you'll always think of me when viewing the beautiful book I enclosed, Universe, the Definitive Visual Guide, and note where I placed your bookmarker, page 404, where our special friends come from. I know that you come out to California for the blank in the city of blank, and Bill Ryan and I extend an open-ended invitation for you to contact either one of us should you ever want to resume the disclosure efforts that you, your DIA colleagues, and Bill and myself were so immensely successful in disseminating to a worldwide audience. In that package, I provided you all of my contact information. Nothing's changed, including photos of me receiving awards in the field of education, my resume, etc. Again, on behalf of Bill Ryan and myself, we wish you well and will respect whatever decisions you make with regard to future UFO Serpo disclosures. 4 of 5. Fast facts from the current anonymous. Though I may not be on the best of terms with him now, I will not reproduce any of the emails received from him starting in September 2006 to the present. In fact, they've all been erased. However, the following is from 3 emails strung together with only the most pertinent information given. Victor. The photographs were developed and transferred from 35mm to digital format by blank, the gatekeeper. 102 military personnel entered training for the Project Crystal Night mission. 16 finalists were selected, 12 primary and 4 alternates. We have no survivors from the original primary team and 2 survivors from the alternates. Future releases will include photographs of the entire crew on Serpo, 66 photographs of Serpo, including Eben villages, Ebens, and their children. The next release contains Eben music. Wait until you hear Eben music. We have hours of their music on tape. We will also release journal logs and other items as our plan dictates. With the exception of the 2 crew members who remained, all bodies were returned. Ebens are our friends. I truly miss them. 5 of 6. And now what follows is a verbatim, authentic reproduction from the original, genuine email my NSA contact wrote for me regarding the sunset photo and all of the photos on the Serpo.org website Bill Ryan has posted. Victor. Subject. Report by Retired Signals Intelligence Analyst, National Security Agency, Fort Meade, Maryland. Photo analysis report on 6 Serpo photos, 17 December 2006. Regarding conversion of 6 images to JPEG format. Executive summary. 6 images in digital format were provided for reprocessing. The conclusion by the task analysis is these 6 images require more investigation, analysis, and verification and lack credibility in many technical respects. They are far below NSA JPL 1960 standards in terms of quality. This mixture of 6 images taken as a group is inadequately explained. There is low confidence that these 6 images are related to a real Serpo disclosure. Details of image processing. The original 6 images were supplied in bitmap format under the file names serpoimages001.bmp through serpoimages006.bmp. The files as received were not encrypted. The original image file names were changed during the creation of the JPEG files to fit an expanded numbering plan for internal reference purposes in case several sets of the images with the same names were received over time. Markings indicated that the original images from this set were in Volume 12, Section 24. Bowling Air Force Base Project Serpo case files. All images, including any excess white areas, were 1700 by 2800 pixels and approximately 14.3 megabytes each in size. For display and retrieval purposes on the internet, the images were resampled to a width of 800 pixels with a proportional height ranging from 427 to 935 pixels. A 2% reduction of red was applied to color compensate for conversion to non-progressive JPEG format at 15% compression. Except for cropping to eliminate excessive white space, the pictures were deliberately not improved using software filters and standard techniques. The original source image for number 97 was upside down. It has been rotated 180 degrees. The original 6 bitmap images have not been subjected to detailed steganographic analysis. There is evidence of moire patterns in these images, particularly number 94A and 94B. Typically, this is an artifact of scanning a color halftone picture. These patterns or interference lines are much more pronounced in the original bitmap files than in the smaller JPEG versions. Such moire patterns are inconsistent with direct scanning of 35mm photographic film or continuous tone prints to digital format. In contrast, the moire patterns and telltale irregular black borders around images number 98 and number 99 are consistent with pictures roughly cut out and scanned from books, magazines, and other printed sources. Retired NSA analyst. 6 of 6. Had the photos not been outed as absolute fakes, this is what the setup was for the remainder of the pictures accompanied by music I personally selected. 99 of 100, The Mask, ceremonial mask used by Ebens during rituals. Played 2, The Outer Limits by The Marquettes, rock instrumental. 98 of 100, The Creature, circa 1971, non-violent Serpian animal. Played 2, the theme from The Twilight Zone. Rod Serling narrates, favorite TV theme song CD. 97 of 100, Untitled Eben Landscape taken at high noon on Serpo. Played 2, Keep Searchin', We'll Follow the Sun, Del Shannon's 20 Greatest Hits CD. 96 of 100, Serpo's Plain of Jars, 68 Central Serpo Major Desert. Played 2, A Different Story, Peter Schilling, A Different Story. Now posted at the Project Serpo website at. And that is the end of this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I have more things like this. Take care.